Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. I'm Spurs for Life, and this is the Paxton Road TV. Get in the road, Paxton Road TV reaction show for the game that's just finished. Aston Villa 0. I'll say it again. Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4, and the Spurs go
march.
I'm not going to do the musicality. That's not my forte. I'll let Sean do all the musicality. I'm just saying. I told you so.
The Spurs go marching in.
But before we start the stream, obviously, we've got to make sure that you, as the viewers, hit that like button for us if you can. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Put your comments in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to read them out. And guest.
And Sam, and click the bell.
And, notification bell. Oh, yes, Sean. You're on it today. We are joined in the house. Mike Hotspur Hustler, in the top corner, part of the Avengers crew, Deji Spurs, and and Cuba 99 joining us for our reaction show. And it's getting easier and easier now, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's getting to the point where I told you so. I'm getting kind of a little bit too cocky. But I think what has made it even better is them lot down the road who have the games in hand have now got nothing in. This is their hand. You know what I mean?
And it's empty.
And it's done. It's gone. Anyway, yes, we've got to just take care of what Spurs do, and good performance second half. I guess you guys are a bit. I wasn't concerned. Yeah, Villa had chances. I expect them to have chances. If they'd have scored, we would have scored anyway. You know, the amount of chances that we had second half and the clinicalness with which we're taking our opportunities now. I always do. Once we get a couple of opportunities, we were going to score goals. It was important to score the first goal because that just meant Villa kept huffing and puffing. They had a bit of a problem for us where they've played the false nine with Coutinho, and they also played two central strikers on the inside forwards, which meant that, one of our centre-backs couldn't come out to Coutinho. Once we sorted that out in the second half, what we did, we just squeezed the lines a little bit more, and either Hojbjerg or Bentancur attached to Coutinho. Plus, he got tired. He couldn't do what he was doing in the first half, and therefore that takes 3 players out of the game. Once Coutinho's not in the game, Ollie Watkins and, what's his name? Danny Ings weren't really too much of a threat in the second half. First half, I'll give him that. Anyway, I'm done with my synopsis because I told you so. Deji, talk to me. How do you feel about the game? Are you now super, super, super confident about giving people advice to top 4?
Super confident. First and foremost, I'd just like to say that I told you so. And I want to cast everyone's mind back to the beginning of the season under Nuno. I was one of the Avengers that pumped, with chest pumped out. I said Tottenham would finish in the top 4. But to be honest, just before I talk about today's game, I just want to let you guys know what I've been doing these last couple of weeks. These last couple of weeks, I've been on One Touch TV with them Gooners, really just trying to bring some reality to their show because, those guys are in cloud 9. So I made a prediction, as I do, and I told people on that show, stick 50 quid. What did I say? I said Arsenal's next 3 games against Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Southampton is going to be a little bit like the Eurovision Song Contest, where they will get absolutely no point. And so far, I'm 2/3 of the way in. 2/3 of the way in. Do you know what I'm saying? No point. And I like to say any Arsenal fans who put any money on that, I would have made some people very, very rich. So look, the thing is, Spurs. Conte's doing an amazing job, and I knew the tide had changed when he was asked the question earlier this week, how do you feel about the team? And he turned around and said, Tottenham are pretty much ready to play anyone. We will play anyone. We fear absolutely no one. I think the first half was a little bit rocky, but it just goes to show that sometimes we had to ride a little bit of a wave, but when we rode the wave, and I didn't want to say it at halftime, but I said if Spurs go in and we don't concede, they could come out and punish Aston Villa. And that's exactly what the boys did. So look, I'm on cloud 709, mate. 709, kumbaya, all the way to the top.
Hey, you get off of my cloud. Hey.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're rather high on this channel today. I'm going to come to Josh because he's a little bit more calm, cool, and collected, and he's going to give a good overview of what the game was like tonight. Josh, excited about the performances from Spurs over the last 5-6 games? Get yourself off mute, son. Get yourself off mute.
I'm not calm, man. I'm just holding it in. Mate, I'm dreaming. I'm flipping dreaming, man. 2 weeks, we were like, we were up against it, we were up against it. Man United were ahead of us. Arsenal had games in hand. They had points. They had it all. They bottled it. We had to do our job. It's amazing, man. The goals are flying in. Harry Kane hasn't even scored one. I think we scored 9. Is that 9 now? Yeah, 9 in the last 2. Harry Kane. When did that ever happen? That's ever
25 goals in the last 7 games. That's how many goals.
Yeah, whatever it is. The numbers are flying out. It's like a bingo hall in here, man. There's just numbers everywhere. National lottery. Saturday night, national lottery, man. Get your numbers out, mate. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner, man. But look, what I will say is this. Because being a Spurs fan, we know that the job ain't done until it's officially done, right? So there's still 7 games. 7 games. We're acting like we're 10 points clear, guys. Come on, there's 7 games, right? They're easier games than Man United, yes. They're easier games than Arsenal, yes. But complacency, we gotta win them. Brighton showed today what they can do on the road. They might hang around in North London a little longer. We'll send them back home. Don't worry about that next week. But we gotta be calm. And we just got to get the job done now. But listen, I'm absolutely buzzing. But look, the first half showed some areas of weaknesses, crossing, free kicks. I don't know how Ings hasn't scored 2. I don't know how Mings hasn't headed that in for 6'8", whatever he is, a giant. He's the biggest man on the pitch. So we got lucky. The football gods were looking down on us. And then it was back to routine, standard procedure, which was 4 goals.
Josh,
what can you say, man?
Josh, do you think it was us being lucky or Villa just poor in front of goal?
Villa being poor in front of goals. So that's why we're lucky, because they should have scored 2 or 3 goals. There's no way Lloris was saving. Lloris kept us in the game, first of all. So Lloris kept us in the game with 2 or 3 quality saves. But there were 2 or 3 real bad misses from Villa as well. And we have to be fair to the opposition.
Let me just add to that, because I know they had a lot of opportunities, but had they scored the first goal, they wouldn't have played like that for the rest of that half, because that would have changed their mindset.
Yeah.
So I think they would have probably sat back a little bit more.
I felt like Spurs, we've come from behind against Newcastle. We've got one of the best records in the league for coming from behind. I was looking at Tottenham after that 1-0 thinking, what are we going to do? Are we going to step off, or are we just going to go for it? Just hardcore, what we've been doing recently. And it felt like we let Villa get back into the game. And that's something Conte will look at and think, right, Villa stepped it up, but we did give them a little bit more respect when they started attacking and getting aggressive on us. And the Man Cities in Liverpool, they finish you off within the first half there. So a little bit lucky. Yeah. Maybe next time if we go 1-0 up, we need to show a little bit more control and dominate the game, or try to dominate the game more and try and be a bit more aggressive. But listen, 4-0, man. I mean, looks like we're going to get it, but still a long way to go, mate.
You lot are absolutely greedy for Spurs to be playing everything absolutely perfectly. I don't care. Away from home and you win 4-0, do me a favour. I don't care about the first half. Like I said, I expect Villa to always have them opportunities, but I think the game changes when goals are scored. So had they scored the goal, I think we would have, had we shown Josh, we can come from behind. We've done that in many games, but we've also got the ability to be just ruthless. So Mike, I'm going to come to you next. There's a difference now between us and the other teams, I guess, in the race, if they are in the race. Up front, is it just the goal scores that we have, the ability to put because again, we'll come to the stats in a minute, but what is the main difference for you that you're seeing?
It's that front three, mate. It's as simple as that. Like, apart from Liverpool's front three, which I'd argue ours is just as good as theirs, but name me a better front three in the Premier League than those three. The goals are, Harry Kane hasn't even scored a goal. Let's be real here. Like, for me, the difference between us, Man United, those lot down the road, and you know what? I'm looking at the league table. I was just looking at Lau, and I'm looking at Chelsea, and And the difference is obviously the goals that we're scoring, but also like the back three. I know Villa had a lot of chances, but the back three for me, they just click. Everything's just clicking. Everything that Conte's got us doing, like the back three look composed, they look calm, they look like they can handle pressure, which they did receive. They were under a lot of pressure the first half, and when you look at Villa's, if you look at their last 3 or 4, I think it's like their last 3 results, they've just lost straight every game they've lost. They had to come at us today. Gerrard isn't about losing. He wanted Villa to come at us, and to be fair, they played well. Pretty much most of the game, they didn't have a bad game. Villa, you just look at their strikers, etc. And the difference between them and us is the fact that our strikers are just clinical. Like Kulu, that goal that Kulu scored, the second goal for Spurs, the importance of that pretty much killed the game for me. Once we got that second, that was it. Game, set, and match. And it was just a case of once we got the second, it just felt like, a third or a fourth can come now, and they did. And to be fair, we could have probably got a fifth for want of better finishing, but yeah, we've just got to. The thing with Spurs now is those players. They're probably all going to be on cloud 709 with Deji, but they've just got to carry on seeing one game at a time. Like, is it Brighton next?
Brighton's next at home.
At home. Yeah, so we just got to forget about this game, go on to the next one. And I'm looking at Chelsea. Full spot, I know, but Chelsea, they've got Arsenal. Their next game is Arsenal, isn't it? I think it's at Arsenal's ground. So
no, Chelsea. They've got to play Chelsea away. So all their,
is it Chelsea away?
Chelsea away, West Ham away, and us away as well.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at third spot, thinking Chelsea, and with their form, anything can happen there. So I'm looking at third spot, thinking we could be dragging them into this now. And Deji mentioned it earlier, like where we were at the beginning of the season. Take that first game of the season away, and I think maybe the 1-0 win away at Wolves. We were getting bad, but where we are now, I just think I can't help thinking. Imagine if Conte was at the club at the summer.
It's a massive turnaround in the last 6 weeks, let alone. Obviously, the stats say that we're, I think, in terms of form, third this year after Manchester City, Liverpool, then it's us. And Arsenal are up there as well. But obviously, Arsenal had a good 6 weeks. So it just goes to show that even though we had that bit of a bad run where we was like the games against Wolves, the games against Southampton, we was all very much, doom and gloom. It was just a few games out of sync. It's now the performances are consistent, and our chance creation and chance taken is really, really high in the percentages. So yeah, it's all good, man. Go on. You want to say something else?
No, I was just going to say, and Conte said that all along, just be patient, give me time, be patient, and things will change. And you can't say they haven't changed because 20? Would you say 27 goals in the last 6 games?
25.
25. I think it's
crazy.
I think what is it now? 33 goals all in since January since the beginning of January 2022.
Yeah, we're top goal scorers. Top goal scorers in the league.
We've got 33 now, haven't we?
Since the turn of the year.
Things have changed.
Definitely things have changed. I want to come to Kuva and Sean before we get to some of the stats to get their initial thoughts on the game. So Sean, you were very beaming earlier. So beam again. How did you find that game today? Are you still thinking that we are possibly in the race for third? I'm not going to say it anymore. After Chelsea's 6-0, that's going to be tough. But like I said, it helps that Chelsea and Arsenal have to play each other because now it just helps us out. Just keeps everything in a nice position for us. So yeah, mute again, Sean. Unmute.
We're definitely in the box seat for top 4. I just don't want you to keep saying top, right? It's just, no, let's just concentrate on getting that 4th place. Yeah?
Sean, it's official, mate.
The first half was a tough watch. It was a tough watch. We were under a lot of pressure. However, I've never seen a Tottenham team defend the corners that they did as well as they did in that first half. And Lloris had 8 saves to make in the first half. So for me, man of the match by a clear distance. Although Sonny obviously runs him a very close second with a perfect hat trick for me. Just really interesting. While I was watching to be introduced, I watched the stat just come across my TV there. Goal involvement since February the 19th. 3rd place Kulusevski, 2nd place Son, 1st place Harry Kane. And even in the top 10, Matt Doherty is in there. I mean, that is a turnaround, isn't it? Since February the 19th. Incredible. I'm really happy. Yeah. Really happy.
I'm good because we've got a balance now. We've almost got like a front 5 and a defensive 5 at times, and it kind of shifts and alternates. So we've always got the protection, and then when you've got the 5 going forward in terms of the 5 attacking players, both our wing backs are getting forward. It's good to see Romero getting down that wing. He needs improvement. Obviously, his quality in the final third does need to be better. Doherty's going to be a miss if he's out for more than a couple of games, I think. But we've got the defensive solidity. So, again, we just need to tidy up a little bit more of the passing. Some of the passing at times was awful in the first half, I thought. And even some of the passing from the wing-backs. It's always going to be the switch of play is always going to be on. So they've just got to make sure that they practice, like what Harry Kane does. Kuva, welcome back. You said you was going to come back on. You actually was the big boy yesterday, or whenever it was we did the preview.
Damn right.
You was getting 5-1. You know what I mean? Just to let the viewers know, Mike was 0-2. Kuva was massive, 1-5. Sean was 1-4 in the end, and I was 1-3. So we was all very confident in terms of the result. But Kuva, after seeing it, what's your thoughts?
First up, got to hand it to Villa. They were aggressive. They were pressing brilliantly. As you said, it was a tough watch. It really was a tough watch at times. Couple of things to take out of that. I'm really worried about the injury to Doherty, because to me that looks like knee ligaments when I saw the challenge. Because I've had the same done to me, and I was wincing when I saw that. That could be a lot more serious than he made it look. It's a tough one, the knee. Any sort of damage from either side, and it does not behave properly. That aside, that's the only negative on the match, really. What I did enjoy about Villa's dominance in the first half is it gave Hugo a bit to do, and he's still class, isn't he? What a string of great saves, great to watch. We're writing him off. A lot of people writing him off lately. It's just a little reminder that, you know, this bloke does the business for us time and time again. He'll make an occasional mistake. All goalkeepers do, but this bloke's just sheer quality. Now, the other bit I really liked is when we're up on that. Villa came for a war. They really did. They were right up for it. What I really enjoyed seeing was Romero's performance during that period. He was loving it. He was loving every moment of it. He loves the confrontation. He loves a hard challenge on the opponents. He doesn't mind taking a few back in return. He just wants
remember there was a Brazilian on the other side as well. He always brings that international thing to the game, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just the sort of performance you need from him when you are up against it like that. It's the sort of bit that inspires the other defenders when they're struggling a little bit, and the players around him. They just think they see him bang in with some tackle that sends the player flying, and the ball's away. And it just picks you up. It lifts you. It got us through that first half. Him and Hugo really instrumental in that. But then the second half, it was always going to be a game of two halves. It always is. Villa were no way going to keep up that sort of level of pressing and aggression, and we just took them apart. Then the like I said about Sonny hitting the purple patch, he gets incredibly clinical when that happens. And there it is, 3 shots, 3 goals, brilliant goals. We just did exactly what we needed to do. Weathered the storm, showed our class in the second half. Bring it on, 3rd place. It's coming.
He's talking with chest there. That is pure chest talk. I'm loving that. I'm loving that, Kuva. I'm talking chest as well. I'm talking chest.
Damn right.
And
Damn
that's
right.
what I'm saying now. Let's put some of the stats up there. Let's see what we got, so we can have a chat about the stats. See where we are. There we are. Sorry, there we are. Hold on 1 second. Live TV, as we do, we're just getting into that. It's coming. Don't worry. Share the screen. Okay, so Let us have a look. Oh, it's going a bit bad in the background. Apologies, it's not getting onto presentation mode, but I will. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Right then. Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. I'll get the comments off the screen as well. Possession 52% to us, 52% to them, 48% to us. It didn't feel that way. It felt like it was pretty even. I guess that's not too far apart anyway. Moving on, Shane. 19 shots to 11, shots on target 8 to them, 5 to us, 9 corners to 3, 12 fouls to 14. So you can see what I'm talking about. Clinical. 5 shots on target, 4 goals. You can't really say better than that unless we'd have scored that 5th goal. Looking at the table then, this is where we are on the table. 4th place, 3 points clear, and now 10 goal swing to them lot down the road. Josh, has this been a really damaging defeat for Manchester United and Arsenal in this top 4 race? And would you now suggest that you're kind of not comfortable, but definitely in the box seat?
Yeah, we're in the box seat. It's in our hands. You know, obviously Arsenal's got a game in hand that I can see. But their form, 3 losses in 5. You know, we've had 6 wins in 7. So we just need to do that again. We just need to do 6 and 7 again, and we've got it. We might even get 3rd if we repeat that form, you know, the 6 and 7. You know, Liverpool we might struggle against, but you know what? Those guys, Arsenal, Man United, they'll be sitting there tonight, you know, thinking what happened. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, we were where Man United were. West Ham were above us at one point, you know, not long ago. So it's all changed. Wolverhampton Wanderers were above us. You know, this is what like a good manager and a coaching setup does, is it keeps the players focused, motivated. Everything was against us. And, you know, we turned it around. Our wing backs were not firing not long ago. We went to Chelsea. They embarrassed us 3 times. It was all looking a bit, you know, early Feb, it was all looking a bit, you know, there were Spurs fans saying, I'll take UEFA League, you know, Conference League, Europa League. And look at us now, man. Look at us now. You know, we're here, you know, 6 weeks later, 7 weeks later, we're here bossing it in 4th. The only thing that can go wrong now is complacency and losing it. And because as a club, we've always got to the pinnacle and then lost it. This could be momentous in just changing the culture at the club. This could have a long-term impact, just getting 4th, like we did under Poch, like we did under Redknapp, and just getting that shift going forward, because we've been going backwards for the last 2 years since Poch left. So this is huge, man. I think we're going to do it. I don't think we're going to get 3rd. There's a lot of partnerships in the teams that are like, you know, the Bentancur, Kane, Bentancur, Son, the Kulu partnership. There's just too many. We can go through. There's about 7 or 8 partnerships there that just keep getting better and better. And the consistency of that first 11, he's not changing it. He's got his winning formula. The worst thing is, and Gerrard knows about this, the worst thing is when you don't know your best 11 and you keep putting out different combinations to get there. So bar the right wing back position where we don't have cover, which I worry about because that's the weakness. And obviously if Doherty is injured for a few weeks, then who do we bring on to cover for Emerson? That's a little bit of a worry. But apart from that, every area of the pitch, we look strong. We don't look weak. And it's for us to screw it up now. And that pressure does come with a responsibility. And that means staying focused and game by game. But all we got to do now is turn up in 7 days, beat Brighton. I'm going to be there. Can't wait to be there. And we just stay calm, man. It's like winning a title. This is like the pressure of winning a title. Obviously, we're not in a title race, but this is what it is. You just game by game. Liverpool feel the same pressure. City feel the same pressure. This is what it's like to be in the big time. So, yeah, man, just got to stay calm, focused, and pray that no more injuries. We've got one today, unfortunately, which we haven't got covering. But luckily, we've got away with it today. And we should have been 2-1 down at halftime. We should have been 3-1 down at halftime. But we got the job done, man. So, yeah, it's all ours, mate. It's all ours.
I'm going to come to you for some financial advice. To be fair, I was just thinking of that. In that game, Son, talk to me about Son and his performances in terms of his finishing, because I look at Son, I think he's now 2nd in the scoring charts in Premier League to only most Salah. I think he's either got 15 or 16. Salah's on 20.
He's got 17.
Is he got 17? Oh shit!
Some respect on it.
Any financial advice for people out there who were not backing Son, because there was talk about Son this season, earlier in the season, I think January, obviously post his injury. He's not doing this, he's not doing that. His goal involvements and his goals scored should tell us we have to be mindful about a player like Son. He's definitely up there with Kane in terms of the importance to Spurs.
Of course, and I think what it is, and I'm always so surprised by this, especially questions around Son, it's just that why we always have what I call the goldfish moment. You know, people quickly forget Son is world class, but you know what Son's going to do. Son is very much like a forex chart. You know, he's going to have this kind of peak, then he drops a bit, and then he rockets. Do you know what I mean? Like a flag for any of those who want financial advice. So you knew Son was going to come back at some stage, and you just know you need Son on the pitch. I think they asked the question to Conte. You know, is there anything wrong? You want Son, you want Kane on the pitch because you know at any moment they can really, he can do something. And I mean, Son is world class. We need to put some respect on his name. This guy needs a Ballon d'Or. This guy is fantastic and has been carrying the fault for Spurs through. I also just want to quickly say something. Let's just put some respect on PRTv. He's brought 3 big players into the squad: Romero, Cooley, Bentancur. That 3 have made a dramatic difference to that squad. And finally, we've got a trio that allows Son to be making those runs, that allows Kane to drop deep, but to have Cooley also getting involved. It is absolutely fantastic football to watch. The only thing I would say as a final point, I think our midfield and attack, I wouldn't change anything. I think I love them. What I would like to see for us that I think will take us to the next level is on the right back, a Tarek Lamptey type player, a solid left back, and another Romero to replace Ben Davies. And there, I think we have a team good enough to challenge Man City, good enough to put Liverpool on the ropes. So kudos to Conte, great job. And Son for me has been the top. I mean, Kane is world class, Son is world class, and I think as Spurs fans, let's just bloody thank our lucky stars that they play for Spurs, because they could be at any other club in the world.
Good, very, very good talk. Very, very well put. Will Stewart, again, Son has scored or assisted in 12 of 17 games since the 7, never going more than 180 minutes between goal contributions. Can we stop the purple patch myth already? Will, as we all know, is a big Son fan.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
I know what Will's getting at. Sonny's been good this season. He has. He's scored lots of goals. There's no doubt about it. He's always a great player to have on the side. Even when he's not at his peak, he's still contributing. But my idea of a purple patch is what I think we're going to be seeing with Son. And that's why I called it out with the getting braces and hat-tricks coming. It's because he's upping that from goal contribution no more than 180 minutes to the end. Now, from the end of the season, I'm seeing him scoring more than a goal a game on average. For me, that's a purple patch. Up to Will if he wants to argue against that. But I'm just calling it. I did call it out.
He'll argue that.
Call it out, and so far he's back. He's proved me right.
He's going to definitely argue that. Mike, not only Son and Kane being the 2 most important, all our goals today in terms of the contributions, obviously Son with a hat-trick, we're all the front 3, if you like. So, yeah, we had Son, 3 goals, Kulusevski 1, 2 assists from Kane and 1 assist from Kulusevski. Apart from them 3, what else is making Spurs tick? You know, because I looked at that midfield 2 today, and I was at the first half, I'm thinking they looked like they were getting a little bit, outdone, and that was because of, like I said, mentioned about Coutinho dropping into that space. But the energy levels that both Bentancur and Hotspur are saying are both showing. Is this now going forward going to be the 2 for us? Because we've got Winston reserve, and
I wouldn't say they were getting outdone. Like, what I would say is they were just under intense pressure. And when they're playing away from home, you're going to have there's going to be games whereby they're just going to be under immense pressure, and they're just going to have to suck it up and ride that storm. And I think they did that today. I think
we had a little bit of a slight in terms of a tactical. There was a bit of a tactical problem with the false 9 because we only had 2 midfielders. It did change because, as I said, the second half it changed, but they they got around it. We were lucky that Villa didn't score. But as I said, even if they did score, I think we'd have come back in that game. But there was a little bit.
I don't think. I'm being honest here. I didn't think Villa were going to score today. They had the chances. As soon as you saw, I think it was Watkins' first chance, and I think he headed it over the bar. The guy's what, 6'6" or whatever, and it was a poor header. I just knew it wasn't going to be Villa's day, and there was a few other chances where, like everyone else has mentioned, that another striker or a decent striker or decent forward would have put them away. And I just didn't feel. I just throughout that whole game, throughout that first half, I was just like, Spurs just got to see it through to half time. If we don't concede by half time, we won't concede for the rest of the game. And we just got, as I say, just ride the storm. And that's sometimes what you've got to do in a game of football. Just ride the storm, get to the break, sort of collect your thoughts, listen to the gaffer, and then you go back out in the second half and you put things to right. And that's what they did. But apart from those front three, Benny, he is different gravy. Like, we haven't... Højbjerg's been playing well, but with Benny in between him, everything's ticking a lot. It's all because of him. He's comfortable on the ball. He's composed. He can be dirty when called upon, and he's box to box. And we haven't had that. I can't remember the last time we had someone like. I know you could probably argue Skip is or has been that type of player, but Benny, he's just different gravy. And I go back to Romero as well. I mean, the guy is just this different class. There's nothing else I need to say other than Benny, and his football's just doing the talking, isn't it? I mean, we can talk about all the other different players, the front three, the improvement from the wing backs, but for me, Benny's been a massive difference for us, and obviously Romero since he's come in. But I think Deji mentioned it. PRTv bringing in Kulu and Benny in January. And the thing is, they haven't needed time to adjust. They've just come in and literally, it's like they've always played for Spurs. They've just slotted straight in. And to me, that is what true scouting is all about. When you can get players like that, and you know if you get them and bring them into the team, and they pretty much started straight away, they've just slotted in. There's been no integration. There's been no sort of, I'll give him time. Like Emerson. Emerson's needed time. And to be fair to him, I think his game is improving as time's going on in the last, 6 or 7 games. But for someone to come in, especially in the Premier League, and who's not been playing, hasn't played in England before, for him to come in from the Italian league, slot into a Premier League team, into the heart of the midfield, and he's bossing it for us at the moment. And I think he's only going to get better. He's young as well. So if I was Tottenham, I don't know. I think we've bought Benny, haven't we? And I think it's Kulu that we can sign. Spurs need to get them two signed up, and Romero, get them all tied up to however long deals we can, because those boys are the future for Spurs. And in the summer, if Conte doesn't get back in the summer, I don't even know where to begin with that. But I think he's proven it with the fact that this team under Nuno, we were getting battered. Whatever he's done, it's working. And we have to back him. If Conte stays, Kane stays, and you've just got to build upon that. And I think I can't remember who said it. Might be Deji.
And I am going to give Nuno a little bit of fairness in that. If he had Dele Alli and the players that we sent out, obviously Tanguy and Lo Celso not doing anything, he was, because even Conte knew that them three couldn't play in our team. We have got a great balance now. I must admit, when I saw it, and I'll ask you, Sean, because I know you're one of his favourites as well, I was a bit concerned when our friend Matt Justin Timberlake Doherty went down. And I've never thought that in my life that I'd ever say that. Now, what could be the possibility going forward of what could derail us? So we see with Arsenal, 2 injuries to them. That looks like that's really derailed them. We could talk about the obvious, the Kane and the Sons. However, obviously, the defense is also a major part of what we're doing in this. That right-hand side, when he came off, wasn't quite the same. Are you concerned?
He was on the left-hand side, but he was Matt was on the left-hand side. Yeah. Reguilón to me didn't do better than Doherty today, but he did enough. I mean, you've kind of answered your own question there, Sam, because it's injuries that could undo us. I mean, that assault by Ashley Young on Kane should have been a red card. I mean, it was halfway up his ankle. It was nowhere near the ball. And I think, you know, he's a very lucky boy. He just got a yellow card. But the other thing that could do us is suspensions. And we now know that Romero's got one game to get through next week against Brighton before getting a 2-match ban. Today, there were some times when I sort of sucked my breath in, with my cheeks in, and said, "Oh, that could be dodgy." But he was, you know, he's got one game to avoid a 2-match ban. So I'm hoping that he can get through next week's game without picking up that yellow card.
Okay, I'm going to ask you then, Josh. Is there any one of the front three that you could potentially be without and bring in one of the either Lucas or Bergwijn? If there was a front three, look at Deji shaking his head. If there was a front three that had to be lost for whatever reason, who would it have to be for you?
Look, those three are killing it, you know, with the numbers, with the performances. They're clinical. They've got an understanding. Kane's got a new friend. He doesn't have to look for Son every time, although he keeps doing it. He's got Kulu there as well. And it's just like an aeroplane that had one wing, and we were just getting by with that one wing. We now got a balanced, you know, we're good on both sides. So if for me, if one of those three was to get injured, then we lose assists and we lose goals. But I'd rather have Kulu injured if it was going to be one of those three. I'd rather have it be Kulu than Son or Kane for obvious reasons. So for me, you'd go to a front two maybe and stick Lucas Moura in behind, because he's played that position, and I think he's better centrally than he is out wide. Doesn't really cross much. But, you know, I mean, if we, you know, Bergwijn has been playing well internationally, so he can potentially come in and do a job on the left. He could do a job on the right. Lucas Moura in the middle. You could switch it up. And today we saw that with Lucas Moura coming on. You know, he was a threat. We saw that against Newcastle. He got the assist. So we're in a very, very, you know, we're in a very comfortable position at the moment. And suspensions and injuries are the two things that can bring us down. Obviously, complacency. But the way we're going at the moment, I don't think anyone would want to play us now. Not Liverpool, not Man City, you know, right. Chelsea. No one would want to play us now, because
we are a dangerous team. We are a dangerous team, and that's what
those front three take care of most. Yeah, those front three take care of most situations. You know, you just get the ball up, and that's what Bentancur does. Benny just gets the ball up. You know, Romero does everything Dyer doesn't do. He gets forward, he gets aggressive. Eric Dyer stopped making mistakes because he stopped trying to be an all-rounder. He's just sticking to his game. And, you know, Ben Davies looks great, you know, like solid, calm, does his job well. He's got a lovely partnership on the left there with Matt Doherty as well. Seeing that last, he was really pissed off when Doherty went down. He ran over, made sure he's all right, tried to get him up. So, you know, injuries are the key thing. And obviously the yellow. I think Kane's away from it. Is Kane away from the suspension?
Kane's got 5. I think his fifth booking today, so I still think he's got quite a way before he goes.
Okay, it's not
fifth
Kane.
bookings don't count anymore now. It's only if you get to 10.
Yeah. All right. So we're all right. So the only one is Romero, as Sean mentioned there. But the thing for me is like crosses, corners, set pieces. I want to keep an eye on that today. Aston Villa, you know, opened us up. Coutinho was having a bit of fun. You know, those three were running triangles around us down our left side, our right wing back, their left side. Mm-hmm. And a better team would have put 3 in. They really would have. I mean, they made enough chances to score, you know, 2 games. You know, they made enough on-target chances to score and win 2 games. Aston Villa were the better team in that first half. There's nobody can argue against that. We got a goal from a clinical finish, but we didn't open them up many times in the first half. And if anything, they opened us up time and time again. That's a worry for me. That's a huge worry. And that stadium was rocking in the first half. All you could hear was Villa fans.
Would you know, so we're going to Josh? And again, I'm trying to look at it from a point of view. I'm not so hard on the fact that Tottenham were under pressure in that first half. Reason being, 2 reasons for me really. One, they are away from home. But we scored early. We scored after 3 minutes. Now, Aston Villa had no choice. I think if the game been a bit longer, it would have been a bit more cage. I don't know whether they would.
I'll
have
tell you
taken
what.
that
I'll
same
tell you what it
attitude.
was, Sam. Some of the passes we lost it a bit for 10 minutes.
Yeah, well,
6-yard passes.
Oh, more than 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
More than 10
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly. So that shouldn't happen, right? That's not what top teams do. They just keep the pressure on. They get the game wrapped up by 60 minutes. So for me, that was naivety. That was inexperience. That still shows we're not, the bit between the teeth is there, but it's not quite there, because that's the kind of game that you can lose by being naive. And we sat back about 10 yards when we scored the first goal. As they started to come forward, we started to sit back. Now, I know we're a counter-attacking team and we like teams to come forward and we like to pick them off. And that's what we did in the second half. But that's not always we shouldn't be one-dimensional like that. We need to be able to keep, the team nice and high and play possession football as well as counter football. So there is a tactical, I'm sure Conte realizes there's a tactical weakness in the side. There is a tactical weakness in the side when teams press in 3s and 4s and say, right, we're here to have a game with you. When they've got quality players like Coutinho, Ramsey, Ings, Watkins, and co. Even there, Cash was getting some crosses in. It was coming in. It was bombardment. Do you know what I mean? It was Russia. It was Russia, Ukraine. The first half was. You know what I mean? So it was a war out there. It was a battle out there.
What I will say to that is, and I want to come to Deji as well to get some views about the impact players. But what I will say to that as well, Josh, is because I've seen how, well, not just I've seen, but everybody can see when you apply that pressure. We see it again today. Arsenal under pressure against when they played. Who do they play in midweek? Crystal Palace. Exactly the same thing. If you apply enough pressure to any footballer and give them, that's the ability that you want to see. Press resistance. We're going to struggle with some of it, but again,
but Sam, Emerson can't be letting those crosses come in. He's got such a bad block.
He's the weak link in terms of the defensive side.
His right foot, it goes about half a yard. He never throws himself properly at the ball. He never he's our weakness, man. He's our right wing back.
100%.
And it worries me down that side.
Even on the left side, when Reguilon came on, his first 3 or 4 passes were.
But Ben Davies, to be fair, is quite neat and tidy to just help it out. I feel like Romero. You know what? For me, I'm more strong. I'm more confident on the left with Spurs. If it's down the left, I'm like, we'll probably stop this from coming in. But for me, Emerson is a big liability, man. He looked lost. He looked rattled at halftime. He was walking in looking like he'd just come out of a 12 round.
But so, I think as long as we haven't got Sanchez and Romero on that side, Sanchez and Emerson, then I'm cool. One or not both. If they're both on the same side, then we have to got.
I don't want to see Sanchez's face, man.
No, I don't want to see. Deji. In terms of the impact players, because this is one thing now with this really key, you have to be able to keep them 2 or 3 players that are going to be impacts. The likes of Bergwijn, the likes of Lucas, potentially even someone like Winks. How's the manager going to be able to do that? Because we're going to need these players. Let's not get it twisted. There's going to be an opportunity for these players in the next 7 games where they're going to have a massive impact on what we do with this top 4 race. How's he going to be able to maintain that in the unity in the squad?
Well, it's very simple. I think he needs to do what he's doing. I think the only thing that kind of worries me about Conte is that, Kane could have gone off earlier. And I think he left Kane on because he wants Kane to get some goals. But actually, you could play Bergwijn, or like Josh said, you could have Lucas in the middle. I would like to see them get a little bit more time now. Coming on around the 70-minute mark, 72-minute mark, getting a good 20 minutes in. I think that's what's going to kind of boost their confidence to make them feel like they're very much part of the squad. You can see Bergwijn's face when he comes on at 86th minute, 87th minute, thinking, what am I going to bloody do with 3 or 4 minutes? And then he's still trying to get some opportunities in there. But I think if we can give those lads a bit more time, I think there's definitely, Conte's definitely created a kind of good spirit within the camp. And you can see he's slowly trying to bring them in. I think in the Newcastle game, he went to a back 4. You know what I mean? That worked, and that allowed Bergwijn to come in and get that goal. So I like to see more of that. And I think if he does that, that would be fantastic, really, from Conte. And and I just want to see a proper right back for me, and I need to see a proper left back. I know I keep saying it. The only thing I would say that might derail us, guys, and I'm not at one to put financial advice at it. I think Conte is the man to take us to the promised land. I think he's going to take us to the Champions League. I think we're going to get some trophies under Conte. I think we're going to get the FA Cup, and I can see us maybe getting a big boy trophy. The only thing that really worries me, and it might not worry anyone else, I think we get fourth, but I need to see West Ham get knocked out by Lyon this week. If West Ham keep doing what they're doing, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to be panicking, because if it's going to happen to anybody, and I'm not trying to say it, I'm not trying to say...
Don't say it, man. Don't put it into the...
But do you know what I mean? So let's not sleep on West Ham and what they're doing in the Europa League, because they're not trying to... they know in terms of league positions, they're not in the race, and they're putting all of their eggs in that Europa basket.
I don't think Europa League gets you top 4, does it?
It gets you Champions League football.
Well, if you win it.
If you win Europa League, you play Champions League.
But we can have 5. We can have 5 teams in the Champions League.
Can we?
It's not so much the fact it gets them top 4 that bothers me. It's the fact that they'll be winning a bloody trophy and we still haven't got one.
Oh God! Every single day.
If that lot's even rubbing it in.
They ain't beating Barcelona, guys. They ain't beating Barcelona, man. Aubameyang's gonna sort it out.
Listen, if West Ham won the Europa, that's done. We're finished. I swear, even if we got top 4, we're finished. Because I've got some West Ham mates who would not stop talking forever if West Ham beat.
And we would be in the same place, Sam. We would be in the same place if we'd won a trophy.
Oh, I'd be crowing. Don't get me wrong. I'd be hammering West Ham fans, Arsenal fans, all. I would do in that cause, but I just don't want West Ham to win something because it's going to be very, very bad, very bad. Sure.
Going back on what Deji said. Sorry, Sam, I'm preempting your question here. Is Deji said he wants to see Bergwijn getting 20 minutes. I want to see Bergwijn getting 20 minutes, and I want to see him getting on before Lucas.
Yes.
I cannot believe that Lucas is the first choice substitute, because Bergwijn did more in his 6 minutes than Lucas did in his 12 minutes or whatever. And I just want Bergwijn. I mean, he's pushing him out the door, Conte, if he's doing this to him, the boy. He's pushing him out the door. He's going to say, I'm going to go play for Ajax and I'm going to get to play every week. I mean, I can't understand what Bergwijn has to do. He even nearly created a chance for Royale at the end. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, God, it just does my bloody... It rips my knitting, as they say up here.
Yeah.
That he's not giving Bergwijn the first choice. He should be the first choice if we're going to change an attacker.
I think it's probably because Lucas presses better than Bergwijn, in my opinion. I just think Lucas is more at it than Bergwijn. And I think Conte wanted the clean sheet rather than the 5th goal. He knew there was goals in the game, but there was probably another counter or 2 left. But I feel like it's the work rate of Lucas. That's my personal opinion. But I agree with you. Bergwijn's a good player and he deserves to play. But I just don't think he can press as well as Lucas.
Sorry, Josh. Just want to say, can I just ask people commenting, please be respectful in the comment section. There's not many of you who are being disrespectful. There's a couple coming through. So if you don't want to make a comment that's positive to anybody, don't make a comment at all. It's quite simple. But yeah, sorry about that. Just, I've seen some things coming in and it's immature and silly. Mike, is it now just a case of us and Arsenal for this 4th place? I think 3rd, if I'm honest with you now, I know I was bigging up.
Who?
I was gonna say I know I was bigging up this 3rd place, but in reality now I think Chelsea have got that sewn up. But can we now call this a top 4 North London race?
I don't think it's been done. Do you know what? This is the best thing. Sky deliberately picked this game to be penultimate week, and it could be fucking meaningless. Oh, excuse my French. And that's great.
What I would say is, if Arsenal lose to Chelsea in their next, I think they've got them next, haven't they? And if Spurs win, and if we beat Brighton, that's 6 points adrift. With what, 6? That'd be 6 games left at the end of the season. And we don't. The real tricky game that we would have, where you could say, if we're going to drop points, you'd put it on the fact that the Liverpool game would be a strong possibility that could happen.
Liverpool ain't going to want to play us, though. We're a dangerous team.
We are, but if we're being realistic, Liverpool, out of those last 6 or 7 games that we've got, is going to be they're the most difficult game we've got for the from now to the end of the season. But yeah, well, Man United losing today. Well, yeah, Man United losing today. I mean, we're 6 points away from them now, so that's a bit of a breather.
You've got to look how they're playing.
Respect.
Just look how they're playing, how they played all season. Now they're terrible. If they can't turn that around, I'm sorry.
Well,
they're
knocking
done.
5 goals against Everton ain't for everyone, is it? So let's yeah. So yeah, if you want to say we're in a race with that lot down the road, then yeah, I think it's out of us too. But it could easily change. Like as I say, Arsenal could lose, we could win in our next game, and then it is firmly in our sort of grips as like Josh said, for us to lose. But we just got to take it one game at a time. I keep saying this, and I'm not going to sort of diverse from that. I just one game at a time. So we've got Brighton next. Concentrate on that. Let's deal with them, and then go on to the next game. And that's just one game at a time. That's the way I'm gonna see it for the rest of the season. Just concentrate on the next game.
Batter everybody one game at a time. I like
Hey, if that's what we've got to do, Kuba, then I'm all about that, mate.
Kuba, do you think there's going to be any changes for the Brighton game? Or do you think this is now, barring any injuries, we haven't got no suspensions, but barring anybody not being 100% fit or not being fit enough to play, should I say, do you think this is now just going to be the team all the way through? Or could someone like Sessegnon push their way into the team? Because obviously we started off with Doherty on the left and Romero on the right. And although Doherty played better than Romero did, I think he's probably going to be better on the right than he's on the left, in my opinion, which means the left side is up for debate, because I think that right-hand side with Romero on there is just a little bit weak, if I'm honest with you. That being said, then, do you see any changes for the game against Brighton at the weekend, next weekend?
It's purely about managing any injuries. I mean, to me, it does look like Doherty could be out for quite a while. I'm really concerned about that. Never thought I'd be saying that about Doherty earlier in the season. Now I wish we had two of them, let's say the other night.
Mad.
He covers both wing-back positions. So, yes, Sessegnon's always a likely candidate to come back in, because we might need to change those wing-back slots around. The rest of the team seems pretty much pick itself until Skip's back, really. He's the only one that might perhaps be pushing for a little bit of a starting role, perhaps alongside Bentancur. Although, to be fair, I think Højbjerg kind of did all right today. He was up against, he was in the thick of the action a lot. Came off second best quite a lot of times, but at least he was battling. We did need that for that first half. But Skip's the one could force his way back in. But he looks like he's got really more of a serious injury than anybody thought to start with, isn't it? It's a bit of a worry, that one. It's the only thing that seems to be that could possibly derail this Conte Express. It's just some injuries to key players.
Well, so if this is true, Michael's saying here, Conte's comments now is Doherty sounds pretty good. So it appears that his injury might just be a bit of a knock. Hopefully it is. Yeah, we'll see. Because again, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm hoping that Doherty he's not injured. Deji, Mike, talk to me. Both of you two are not the biggest fans of his, but talk to me. When he got that thing, I was like, ooh, Matt, please get up. I don't want to stand down.
I'll be honest. I was like, it's all right. We've got Reggie on the bench, so
yeah.
Nah, I'll give him some respect. He has been playing well, but
yeah,
that's as far as I'm.
I'm
being realistic.
For me, Doherty is still Justin. The only thing I would say is he's done. Look, let's give credit to where credit's due. He's really improved over the last couple of weeks. Personally, I wouldn't want to see Doherty as our left wing back. I don't like it. I know he did a job against Newcastle. I felt we looked a little bit lopsided. I would prefer Reggie or Sessi in that position. So for me, if you're gonna play Doherty, he has to play a right wing back. Do you know what I mean? But having him there, he did a job against Newcastle, but it's not something I really want to see often. But I do want to see him fit and healthy for our game against Brighton. Because look, I'm just looking at Lamptey on as a flying right wing back against Doherty. He's not got Doherty ain't doing jack. Let's just keep it real. So let's not get carried away. Do you know what I'm saying? Today he wasn't on long enough to see for Villa to really exploit that. But Matty Cash really was going to do some stuff on that right hand side, and then he got kind of pegged off. So for me, Doherty's doing well, but he's not the answer. So and I'm just going to keep it as that.
The brother Lamptey's got a terrible injury record though this year. I mean, he's hardly played. You know,
Hardly.
I mean,
the thing is though, apart from Lamptey, there's a few others. There's a few other these right wing backs.
Oh, yeah.
Young,
I mean,
like Spence, who's at Nottingham Forest or Middlesbrough. I can't remember which one.
Or their right back, that Jones at Middlesbrough. Yeah. He looked really good too.
Let me ask Josh. Josh, is there a possibility? Let's say, for instance, let's say he's out for a few games, and Emerson again. I'm jury's definitely out for him. Would you look at possibly what this comment here from Elias is saying, Sessegnon, or even possibly someone like Bergwijn playing as a right wing back, if he got that desperate, or would you just continue playing Emerson on that side until he comes good or comes bad, whatever comes first, I guess?
Do you know what? It's almost like, can it get any worse, right? So it's not great. It's average at best. Today we saw that. And if Sess is going to come in and improve the current standard, which is quite low, then you do it. You know, you experiment with it and you try it on the right. We've got the luxury because the goals are raining in. So the team takes care of itself in terms of winning the game. But this is where you can actually mess around a bit if you wanted to against Brighton or against some of the lesser teams. So you wouldn't do it against maybe a Liverpool.
Mess around? I don't like that phrase, Josh. I don't want to be messing around, my friend.
Mess around if we're a couple of goals up.
You know, have a little bit of fun, you know.
Have a plan, but not mess around. Not at this stage of the season, my friend.
You know, we mess around because, guys, we're scoring 4s and 5s, man. Come on, we can mess about, man. It's all good.
I love that.
I would say Emerson there, we can carry him for now. It's not a massive danger sign. Yes, it's a worry, but it's not like we need to fix that ASAP, right? It's not. We can carry him, you know, as long as we make sure the rest of the pitch works, which is doing at the moment, the middle, the wide areas. But can you imagine if we had a real right wing back? Sessegnon, I believe, is the future. I believe once he's fit, he will be the starting. I think Reguilon's going to go back to Madrid. So for me,
Reguilon's good enough. I'll be honest with you, John. I don't think he's good enough. I've seen defensively.
I think his head's there, mate.
I don't know.
I think he wants to go back as well.
I think he's just been unlucky with injuries this season. It's been hard for him to pick up any type of form because he's picked up form, got COVID, picked up some form, got COVID. It's just been too stop-start from it. For any player to get any kind of form, they need to be consistently playing, don't they? And I don't think Reggie's had that opportunity just because of injuries. But
the thing is, right? You know, the amazing. The great thing to see is we're scoring with average wing backs this many goals. Imagine we had crosses coming in. Imagine we had 5 crosses from each side coming in, of which 3 of those one target. Can you imagine the kind of service Son, Kane, Kulu, you know, even Hojbjerg would be getting in on the act? So can you imagine what we would be like with proper wing backs? That's the context.
That's why. But if I was just going to say that's why if Real Madrid do come in for Reggie, if the price is right and we can get reinforcements in who are younger and fitter and better, then I'd let some of these players go. Like,
who's the current left back at Juventus?
Reserve left back it'd have to be, wouldn't it? Yeah.
On Josh, on the crossing thing, I'd refer you to an article in the Athletic this week where they said that we're actually the king of crossing at the minute. You know,
I'm talking crosses where you get down the byline, skim your man, like you see the Liverpool fullbacks. We miss a bit of that where the players just have the speed to get down and whip one in. But yeah, it depends what they call crossing, because there's those little crosses. Yeah, we do loads of those little ones. You know, the ones where Kulu came in the other day and did one. But I'm talking proper bombing wing backs, man. We will be. I mean, that's where you're talking about title contenders if we had proper wing backs.
Ooh, Josh, I love when people talk with their
100%,
chest.
man.
I love when people talk.
We've got 2 world-class players in our team, man. Who has that at the moment?
I think. Do you reckon
Liverpool,
it's just
Man
2?
City.
I'd
5.
say Romero must be. Romero's on
Romero's
the
up there.
That was
5.
funny, Sean.
Mate,
That
then
was
Agree about the wing backs, though. I mean, look what makes Liverpool so special. It's those wing backs.
Yep.
Really is.
Yep.
Yeah, I think avoiding injuries, but that in the future, even for this season, I think if, like I said, if Doherty was injured in certain games, Emerson, because we need to get that outlet. And like you were saying, Josh, I think we can carry him, but then if we had a little bit of a tweak in that back three, that's why I think the problem would occur. Because Emerson with anybody else other than Romero on his side, I think it's a liability because I think he's just not good enough defensively. And again, attacking wise, he wants to go forward. But it's when he gets there, you don't know what he's not got the quality to do what we need him to do going long term. I'm going to come around to all of you. Start with you, Kuvar. Give me your thoughts.
I've got a little creative solution for that, but people will cringe at half of it.
Well, speak.
If we're really on the front foot and bossing it, why not put on any of our wingers on the right? Just play them as a winger. Romero will cover the right back slot, no problem. If we're not up against it, that is. If we are up against it and we need the defensive solidity, sounds dodgy at first, but move Romero to the right back slot and bring Sanchez in to sandwich between Dyer and Romero. Because when he's got a quality player on either side of him, he actually does all right.
That could be. I don't want to see it. I want to see it. I don't want to see it.
That is a push.
I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating food.
No, but I really don't want to see it now. I want to see it against a friendly team, like someone like Arsenal, maybe. Right then, Mike, start us off then. Final thoughts, and then looking forward to the game, obviously, against who we playing? Brighton next.
Final thoughts. There's not much to say, really. The scoreline does all the talking, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Final thoughts. Got another 3 points. We're now in the driving seat. It's nice to see that the tables are turned, and there's a lot of Arsenal fans that have been giving us a lot of jip, and they've gone quiet.
Arsenal fans.
No, mate, they're hiding. They're hiding.
Now they're watching this. Don't you get it twisted? They always watch. They don't want to admit they watch, but I know they do. So hi. The scoreline does all the talking really. Going into the next game against Brighton, just another 3 points. I don't really care what the scoreline is. I just want 3 points. And that's just how each game, as I've mentioned previously, I just want to see each game get another 3 points, just take it all the way to the end. There's only 7 games left to the end of the season. Just take it game by game, just get over the line, and then in the summer, Conte has to be backed 100%. I know you lot don't like me doing this, Mike. I know you don't like me doing this, and I know you don't like me doing this, but it's like when I big my chest up. Do you think, before we go round to Deji and the rest of you for your thoughts, and we can have a little bit of a talk about this, do you think the top 4 race might be done by the North London derby? I'm only saying it. Now, Arsenal,
I've said it.
I did say this the other day.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The race will be done before North London derby.
And Hellman Sky Sports for pissing about for so long.
Come on.
It's official. Officially, the top 4 race won't even.
Let me ask all of you. Deji, do you think it'll be done by North London derby?
Of course.
Wowzers.
And let's just keep it real. I mean, I watched Alistair Gold earlier this week, and he talked about the fact that he's still surprised that people are saying it's in Arsenal's hands, and that's before this weekend, when really Arsenal still got to play us, and we don't even fear Arsenal. We know we're going to roll them over for fun. I think people just need to start putting some respect on Tottenham's name. Put some respect on our name. Tottenham is going places. And also, can I just say, I'm going to say something. Everybody knows on this show how much I love Poch, but I have to say it. Conte is Poch 2.0. He's yards ahead of Poch. Look what he's done in 5 months. If we have a good pre-season under Conte, Guys, we are going places. I'm talking the Champions League. I'm talking Premier League stuff. It's not financial advice, but if you want to start sticking 50 quid on that nut right now, by all means, go for it. So, for me, the game, by the time we get to the 12th of May or whenever we're playing the Scum, the game's already done. It's over. I even see us beating Liverpool. Dare I say it? That's another cheeky tenner.
Yes, in.
So there you go.
There's too
You know
much.
what? I'm probably going to put a tenner on it as well.
Oh my God. We've lost it now. Nah. Mike's gone. Mike's gone as well. I can't have this. It's too much for me to take.
I'm not going for a 5-1 on that one. But
You can tell Mike's got more money than sense, eh?
Everybody's lost their heads here. Hold on, Josh. Is it
£10
done by North?
on beating Liverpool.
Is it done by North London
it as
Derby?
well, mate.
Sorry, Josh. Is it over by North London Derby? Because, like I said, I would like it to be, but I just think there might be a couple of little twists.
Their game in hand is Chelsea, and I think Chelsea, going off today's performance, should just rip them a new one. Just put another 4-5 past them. So hopefully it's done by then. But we still got 3 games to go when we get to the North London Derby. I don't think it'll be mathematically done, but I think it'll be done from a point of view where, we'll just have to maybe worst case. We'll be able to lose one, or be 6 points ahead. So we'll have the points to get over the line. But I think right now, it's just a case of, look, you can't stay calm. You can't, because we're scoring too many goals. We're winning. You can't stay calm in this situation. You've got every Spurs fan, even the most negative Spurs fan. A little bit of credit to Daniel Levy as well for bringing in PRTv. But what PRTv and Conte have done, we've not had this done to us in a short space of time ever. I don't know when.
Space of time. I think you're right in what you're saying. The space of time.
In 8
people
months.
are losing their minds in the summertime, saying, he's rubbish, he's this, he's that. But you've got to give the man at least one transfer window.
Yeah. And the thing is, for me, this is now we've got, Daniel Levy, right? As much as he's stringent, he's tight, he's pragmatic, he now has to roll the dice, because we're not going to get this opportunity to challenge. I don't want to talk about challenging for the title, but the thing is, we're one step behind it. This is not going to happen again in the next 5 years if we don't keep these guys at the club. So it's just huge. It's more than top 4. This is not just about top 4. This is about challenging Man City and Liverpool with Kane, with Son, and with the talent we've got. So this is more than top 4.
More important, more importantly. Definitely as important as Conte to be kept.
If we don't get top 4, we probably lose Kane. Maybe, unless he keeps him for another year. But, if he gets 100 million, he might take it. We probably lose Conte to a PSG. PRTv probably walks. And it all falls apart. So this is so huge for the next 5 years. And that's why the excitement levels are so high, because it's not just top 4. And that's all it is. This is like a massive, monumental shift in our club. So it's just the next 7 games are just, it's unbelievable where we are, and the way Arsenal keep losing. They might lose again. Southampton away, I believe it is. And then Chelsea, so away, and then Man United. So probably will be over, Sam. Probably will.
Josh X, talk, Josh, like Malcolm. Josh X there, giving it straight to them, telling them man's they're done. That's basically what he's telling them. Sean, is it over by the North London Derby for Arsenal?
Absolutely. Deji's called it, and I believe the brother. So yes, it couldn't be sweeter, because I hate Sky Sports, and they are obviously planned for this thing. It'll be done by then. Absolutely. Arsenal are shot now. They're done.
2 weeks ago, we were having a very different conversation. Kuva, I'm going to give it to you as the one to give the last on that thought. North London Derby, will it matter?
I haven't been on the stream with Deji before, but pleasure, mate. I'm totally with you on this. We're the ones to fear now, mate. Bring it on. I mean, well, let's just look at it logically, even from Mike's point of view, with take it one step at a time. We got Brighton next. I mean, they're not a bad side, but they're not Crystal Palace, are they, Woolwich fans?
Exactly.
So I mean, we're going to keep hammering away at the wins, and everybody's just going to crumble. We don't really. We're just in top gear. We're in cruise control. We're putting teams away. Have a really difficult half like against Villa, and we come out 4-0 winners. I mean, come on, what's the fear?
The thing The press don't give us the respect we deserve, guys.
Exactly.
None of them.
No,
They'll-
of course not.
all of them. You'll see on Match of the Day tonight. They'll be talking about bad defending rather than, or they'll talk about that first half for 90 minutes, and they'll talk about our bit for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
I'll still be watching.
I'm still
But
watching.
I think but as Spurs fans, we owe it to the club, we owe it to the team to be brave and to be bold. You know, all this, I'm not so sure, all of that kind of soft stuff. No, we need to change our mentality, same way Conte is changing the mentality of the boys.
Definitely.
He welcomed the pressure. He welcomed the pressure of top four. So how can we say anything but?
That's
No,
what I said. When
like
I said this. When Conte's chatting, he's chatting hard. He's doing this in the press conference. I'm doing the same thing as he's doing because he's talking with his chest high. I'm doing the same. And if he changes his mind, then I'm gonna do that.
Sam, we need to get Sam a hair transplant, man.
I'm going to say, Deji, if you ever run for PM, mate, I am voting you 100%.
Hey, man.
You are.
Come on.
Talk about it. Right then, let's get back to our last part. Deji, final thoughts and what you're looking forward to the Brighton game.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to steamrolling Brighton. I think we continue where we left off, and I'm actually going to give another prediction. I think we do it again. I see us beating Brighton 4-0.
Get in.
Might as well.
I love the shit out of you.
Might as well.
Rubbish, aren't they?
Might as well. You know what I mean?
Even Arsenal can score against them. They're rubbish, aren't they?
Come on.
Oh man. I tell you what. If we don't do it this season, for whatever reason, gentlemen, there is so much clip material on this one stream alone. We're done. But I'll come to Josh next. Josh, final thoughts and what you're looking forward to Brian.
It's going to be a win. You know, the juggernaut cannot be stopped. You know, the goals cannot. You know, we're taking the piss. We are literally taking the piss with the goals. And long may it continue because, you know, there was a time when we couldn't score earlier this season. But we'll forget all that because that was Nuno and that was like a different life. And we're in this great place. So we just keep lapping it up. We lap it up. We're just. You know, we're the talk of the town. We're talking the radio, the talk of television, YouTube. Everyone's talking about us. You know, long may it continue and just enjoy it, lap it up. It keeps happening. You know, it's like a lottery win every week. And we go again next week. Pick your numbers. I'm going to take the piss. I'm going 7. I'm going to take the piss. I think we beat Brighton. Was it Brighton we beat? Was it 11? Who was that team we beat?
I'm still
You're joining
that different life comment, man.
Yeah, man, that different life.
I
know.
You know what? I'm going 7-1. I'll give them a goal from a set piece.
Yes.
They're going to get a corner in.
This
and they're going to score.
really lost it,
Sonny's going to get 9. Kane's going to get 14. Jeez. And yeah, we're just going to smash them, man. I'm going to be there. So yeah, man, wicked. But look, on a serious note, we win. We keep putting the psychological pressure on Arsenal to have to overperform at Chelsea, at Southampton, at Man United. They're going to crack, right? This is all what Conte said about 3 weeks ago when Arteta started running his mouth about the false negatives and all that bullshit. Conte said it, right? This man, you do not mess about with this man. He doesn't speak for the sake of speaking. He says it internally, externally. He's gonna do Levy as well one day. He does that. He just walks out. So enjoy it, appreciate it. And up the Spurs, man.
What will absolutely make me howl this season is if Mikel Vampire Arteta has grey hairs, because that hair's too dark, too black for it not to be Grecian.
He's gonna go bald. He's gonna go bald by the end of the season. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because he's got that bottle color well done. He's got it good because it's not. You can't even see the roots. No roots at all. Anyway, Sean,
I've got one more cheeky tenner after this.
It's a toupee, mate.
Yeah, Sean, final thoughts on the game.
I thought we were going to look at Brighton. Sorry. Final thoughts on the game.
I should have added that as well, but I was going to let you do that anyway.
Yeah. All right, okay. Final thoughts on the game. The result speaks for itself, as someone else has already said. Very happy boy tonight. We're watching Match of the Day 2. A nice cheeky beer. Next week, I think we'll turn Brighton over. I mean, we scored them at the seaside, so we'll do it in our own backyard, for God's sake. Yeah, if you don't score a minimum of 5, I'll be disappointed. And it will join the list of things that I'm having to go at Conte for, right? He's got to bring Bergwijn on first sub.
Yeah.
But
I
yes,
think
fantastic. We're gonna absolutely steamroller it. The only trip in the road might be at Anfield, but who knows? Who knows? This team seems to be believing, yeah.
You man have been bench pressing at the gym regularly in the last week or so. Wow, the chest that you man have got. Anyway, Kuva, I know you're not going to be shy on this. You was the one who said 5-1 on our preview show. What you telling me now? Final thoughts on the game and what you're thinking about for this Brighton game. If you're going to join the rest of this lot, it's going to be 22-0 at this rate.
Brighton are lucky they've got enough points on the board already. They're just rubbish. That's relegation fodder. We're going to smash them. Going to humiliate them. 4-0. Possibly the same in the second half as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think that
back up the message there.
Brace for Sonny at the minimum. I'm saying, I'm calling it Sonny. I've got a bet on him for Golden Boot winner.
Yes, I was going to say that. Golden Boot for Sonny.
Yeah. And I just feel like I think Will and I were arguing on different points earlier, but the point I was making is I think he's going to up his goal output for the last 10 games of the season. That's my idea of his purple patch. He's going to be hitting 14 goals in the last 10 games, something like that. I'll see it coming. Well, he's already got 4 in the last 2, so I mean, why not?
Why not?
I'm not going to be. I'm going to wait until I hear about who's injured, who's not injured, and see what happens during the week before I make my gun. I did that on purpose. I wanted you lot to get clipped up because just in case, you know what I mean? I'm just saving it. But no, I'm going to talk big chest when we come to do the preview show, obviously. But before that, I'm letting you lot get the old clipping. Not me. What we got here, Paul Pablo, great win today, but I have to say, defender was not the best without Lloris. It could have been a different story. 100%. The league will do everything they can to help Man U and Arsenal. I don't expect to get any decisions from the ref, just like today. The ref was...
that referee was shocking.
Glenn should be refereeing the bloody UFC, mate.
Would you have sent Ashley Young off?
Yes.
It was a horrible challenge.
No intent to get the ball whatsoever, was there? No.
It's halfway up his shin as well.
Yeah, he would have gone.
30.
None. We got to say a good big shout out to Ozzy, who was a special player, apparently not well, so get well soon.
Heart surgery this week, Sam.
Oh man,
I thought you already had it.
No, you had it, but you know, recovery, man. You got.
Oh yeah. No, but it was successful, wasn't it?
It's mad. Oh dear. Music to my ears from Potomac. Potomac, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all of you guys who've been supporting us throughout the stream. We've had over 90 odd people at one point. Make sure you all smash that like on the stream. If you're new to the channel, you like what you've seen, you like the panel, they're always around this panel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as Sean said earlier, hit that notification bell.
Yeah, get all the neat awards. You can ring my bell.
As we've got a substitute for singing as well. We've got Sean who's singing the song. Wowzers.
Come on, boys.
This is it, right? Right then. Josh, where can the viewers find you?
At home.
All round to Josh's house.
Come over, man. We're playing bingo tonight. We're playing bingo, man. So yeah, bring your numbers.
Josh is funny, man.
I'll tell you what, when we win, you fans are very funny. Very funny.
Josh has killed me in some of his comments, man.
I'm on all the socials, YouTube, Spurs Debate TV. I generally like to pick the weaknesses in the team on my channel, especially goals. I analyze goals when we lose a game, but I've been out of work, been down the job center, not had much to do because we haven't been losing. So yeah, come and share, come and subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, like this channel because Sam's smiley face and his shiny head just keeps everyone happy and keep rubbing it, mate, because it's working.
I
don't mind. I got no problem.
Hold up, Sam. Can you look down? I need to comb my hair, mate.
I've got a comb. I've got a comb here.
No, look down.
Where is it? No, I've got a comb as well because I need to keep this in. You know what I mean? You got to keep it neat. So I don't, can't be caught slipping like that. Kuva, where can the viewers find you?
Well, I'm a free agent nowadays, so I just float around the channels like I used to in the early days and just go where I feel like. Yeah, just enjoying being back, doing a few streams now. It's the atmosphere's changed. The team's doing better. Fans are in a better place. We're not all arguing with each other as like we have been. It's good times. Good times. So I'll be around the channels.
Well, make sure you're around this channel. You know what?
Tonight I'll big up Bob Spur for tonight though. I'm going
100%
going over for his Saturday night one.
Keep getting better, Bob. You're doing well. You know what? I'm feeling generous. I'm going to come to you others who are always on the stream and I say to the viewers, where can they find you? Mike, start with you. Where can the viewers find you, Mr. Hotspur Hustler?
I have full squatting rights here on Paxton Road. So yeah, catch me here squatting. Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter, Hotspur Hustler. Yeah, I'm always here. Win, lose or draw, I'm here.
And well said. Win, lose, or draw, Arsenal Army, we are always here. Deji Spurs, where can they find you? My friend.
Yeah, no, look, I'm here on Paxton Road TV, but also I've been doing a job for us out there in the territory. I'm filling One Touch on their channel where I've been making all of my predictions. So I'll be there on a Monday night. So I'll be laughing in his face, my good Englishman, as we discuss my trio, my 2/3 analysis, which will come to fruition next weekend. So that's going to be an amazing show. So thank you.
Fabulous. And I've got so much TV to watch. I've got AFTV, I've got United Stand, I've got United View, I've got Stretford Pad, I got all kinds to watch. Arsenal Armory, Man United Gen. Oh, Jesus Christ. And Manchester. I'm matching the day as well. Oh, God.
AFTV is just all you're going to hear is, yeah, AFTV, the lights will be off and you just hear the wind whistling through.
Saturday Night TV is better. Used to be X Factor, but now Saturday Night TV is all about AFTV on a day like today. Sean, without forgetting you, where can the viewers find yourself, my friend?
You find me at Hotspur Hurley on Twitter, talking about politics, but mostly about my beloved Tottenham. I want to say a big shout out to Josh's Twitter feed. It's really good. I love his polls he puts out. So get on that. And yeah, you'll see me here smiling away, rain or shine, knitting ripped or not. Come on, you Spurs.
I will like to call myself and consider myself the genie in the lamp. There we go. Then 3 wishes is the top 4. Them lot don't even make no. I don't want them to be out. I want them to be in the Europa Conference League like we were this season.
Yeah.
Let them feel what it's like to play in that.
We've got a nice song for that, haven't we?
We have. So my 3 wishes after rubbing my head is definitely top 4. Them lot to get 7th, so they're in the Conference League and having to play twice a week. That will fuck them up forever. And West Ham not to win the Europa. If that 3 things happen, bloody hell. I tell you what a season that is.
If Arsenal finish 7th, Arteta is getting the big S. He is not seeing
P45 for Arteta, yeah. And Vieira in place.
That's the biggest bottle job ever if that happens.
No. Don't want him to go ever. Let him stay there. Just like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Trust in the process. I know I am.
Yeah.
I trust that process. I love the process. 100% that process is trusting.
I'm gonna watch X rip Robbie a new one this week.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Go and watch our fellow Spurs person in Expressions. He will certainly be coming up with some comments today and a few one-liners, no doubt. It's been a good day. It's been a very good day. Last comment then that comes up here. What is it saying here? Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. No league for them at all. No, we want them to be in a conference. I swear I want them to be in a conference league. I just do. It'll be funny. Anyway, Mike, Deji, Josh, Sean, and of course, Kuva 99. What have you called yourself today? Kuva what? Kuva Sesky.
Thank you all. Thank
my
you.
God. It took me till now to see that. Kubasevsky. Genius. That's genius. That's genius. That is it. I think we're done, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
We can now
Cheers.
go
Cheers,
and
Sam.
enjoy
Yeah.
the rest of the evening.
You know who
Thank
else
you
is
all. Make
done?
sure. Yeah, you'll be back again.
Woolwich.
Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, comments as well. That's it. Okay, then, guys, take care. See you
Good
later.
night.
Bye.